I recently came back from Reunion Island, and it was my first time to set foot on the southern hemisphere. Coming from the European winter, I tried to make the most out of the trip and explore and fly as much as I could. I have flown a couple of times at Colimaçon, that is a pretty epic flying place on its own, but what I really waited for was our upcoming hike and fly adventure to the top of the island, Piton de Neiges. It reaches 3070 meters and it is the highest point that sticks out from the Indian Ocean. On the way to the base of the mountain, we went on the windiest road I have ever seen. It was really a sigh of relief to arrive at the beginning of the trail. We started our ascent from 1400 meters in the early afternoon with great enthusiasm, and we made our way up to the mountain one step at a time. At 3 o'clock, we reached our last water source and we were already inside the ever-rising clouds. A bit before 5:30, we reached the pass and climbed higher than the condensation, but offered a beautiful view, and we stayed there for quite a while, gazing our eyes on it. After that, it was only a couple hundred meters walk until the mountain hut. We planned to stay during the night, so we got there, settled in, and got ready for the early morning start. It was still the depth of the night when we woke up at 2:30 to walk up the last bit of the hike to arrive before sunrise. Hiking at night was so much easier because of the lower temperatures and the lack of exposure. We met up with some of our friends who slept on the ridge half hour before sunrise and enjoyed the exceptional view of the sun slowly illuminating this island of paradise. Right after we filled terabytes of storage on our cameras, we started to make our way to the launch that was a mere 100 meters under the peak. Wind was picking up a bit, so we decided to take off a bit earlier than planned. One by one we took off, and by 7:50 we were all in the air. By the time I took off, the others were already gliding towards the possible lifts on the southeastern face of the crater. I was climbing on the southern face of Piton de Neiges rigidly and got higher than the peak, so I started to glide towards La Grande Denard in the hope that I will find some lift and gain enough height to glide over the ridge, that way landing on the beach. This glide offered a breathtaking view to the Mafat caldera and basically a big chunk of the island. Everything looked glorious in the morning light. Reaching the Manar Ridge was promising, but instead of lift, I only found sink, just like the others before me. After some involuntary altitude losing, I decided to turn back to the only landing inside the crater, because it was getting obvious that I cannot make my way out of it. I flew over Silaos and prepared for the landing right on the edge of the city. Even though I wasn't able to land on the shore, I was quite happy that I managed to fly down instead of walking, and this way there is still a goal to come back and next time fly to the ocean. Because I plan to come back to this wonderful island, to explore and see more, because it has everything from beaches to volcanoes, from high peaks to rainforests, and a lot of lovely people.